Ready, go!
Ramping up production is Trinidad and Tobago. The nation is the largest natural gas producer in the Caribbean. Before the pandemic, it was the world's 8th biggest LNG exporter, according to BP. The government expects output to return to pre-pandemic levels by next year. Stuart Young is the Energy Minister at Trinidad and Tobago, is with me now. Minister, grateful that you're with me. I was listening, I saw the G7 the other day and read the statement, and I saw about how cutting off or weaning off Russian oil and gas would require extra from everybody else. How can Trinidad and Tobago help Europe, or anybody indeed, by producing more?
Thank you very much, Mr. Quest. It's indeed a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you and this international audience today. Trinidad and Tobago is a twin island state with the southernmost Caribbean islands in the Caribbean, and we're only about 5,100 square kilometers. How can we contribute? We're looking on at this international crisis taking place, and as you said, we see ourselves as punching way above our belt. We have been a significant gas producer, LNG producer, for the last few decades. At our height of production, we were pumping out about 770 million MMBTU of LNG a year on an annual basis. We have 4 trains. So we see the ability. We have additional capacity right now, Richard, and we are eager to step in to assist in what is going on globally in whatever way we can. It's not only on the LNG front, but we're also a significant ammonia producer in Trinidad as well, ammonia and methanol, and we have capacity there as well. So as a gas producer and someone who turns gas into both LNG as well as what we call petchems and ammonia, methanol, urea, UAN, we are ready to do what we can to assist with what we see as this crisis taking place.
And also internally within the country, the increased price that we're now seeing for both gas and for oil must, it's an ill wind that blows no good, I suppose, but you must be doing better as a result of your energy exports.
Well, we certainly are. I heard you talk about pre-pandemic stages. We've gone through yet another cycle coming out of the difficulties of the early stages of the pandemic. And yes, we are seeing income increase as a result, especially on the LNG side, as well as the ammonia side of pricing. As you know, with ammonia prices, they've climbed from around $180 a metric ton. They're now hovering around $1,400 a metric ton. So there is a significant increase in revenue to these companies, etc. And we will see some in our coffers as well.
What are you going to do with it? I mean, what are you going to do? To the extent that the windfall that you are enjoying is tremendous amounts of revenue.
Well, Richard, I wouldn't put it as tremendous amounts of revenue. As a government, what you're doing is you're really making those revenue increases off of taxation. So you wait for it to come in. But as a government, just coming out of a very difficult time with the pandemic, you have bills. So we'll be paying our bills. We survived the early stages of the pandemic. The government revenue is used to look after approximately 1.4 million people here in Trinidad and Tobago who, quite frankly, have quite a good life. So we'll be spending it on our education, which we've spent billions on in terms of our currency and just other things that are necessary for the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Let's get to the issue of how, in your view, does the world wean itself off Russian oil and gas? I mean, we can have a long discussion about was Europe foolish for not weaning it itself earlier, post the annexation of Crimea in 2014. But we are where we are, and the difficulty now for Germany, for Italy, for the Netherlands, for all these other countries, Hungary says to withdraw Russian oil and gas would be like hitting the economy with an atom bomb.
What you have to look at is globally, what other countries can help contribute by ramping up production. So that's where we want to come in and assist. But you know, Richard, there's another conversation taking place with respect to weaning yourself off of gas. We see it as completely different. So there's a whole renewable conversation which we're in support of, but we see gas as the cleanest hydrocarbon fossil fuel. And we actually think gas is going to be around for decades. So for example, in Trinidad, 99.9% of our electricity needs are derived from the natural gas that we produce. So how does the rest of the world, and in particular Europe, deal with this current crisis? You have to look at where there's alternative supply of natural gas, and hey, Trinidad and Tobago is one of those places.